Hi everybody, this is Holly Ray and I am creating this screencast to give you a couple of tips for utilizing friend lists for targeted sharing and custom privacy settings. Alright, so the first place to get familiar with is your Facebook friend lists. When you click on friends, you'll be taken to a more option which will allow you to see existing lists. Facebook combines smart lists, which it has 3: close friends, acquaintances, and restricted, with employment related lists, location related lists, and educational related lists. So alumni, graduating class of a particular institution can all be grouped. You can also have custom lists, and you can see here I have a list of yoga, a list related to my daughter, a list of professional associates, a list of mentors, so on and so forth. So setting up these lists is very simple when you're visiting a friend's page. And I'll show you my example of my friend Julia. You'll be able to delineate which list the friend is on and how often you receive updates from this friend, what groups this person might be included in, and what groups I'd like her to be in. But that's not the only way to edit your friends list. By clicking on a particular list, you'll notice there are several features. First of all, there's manage the list, how often you receive specific updates. If you'd like to change the list, that is also available here. In other words, if you'd like to remove anybody from this list, that's easy to do. Facebook will also provide you suggestions for who could be added to the list. And you can add other individuals who are coworkers at this place. So when you are in a list, you'll often see a Learn More option. Facebook then brings up a tutorial that you can go through to learn about the list feature and how it works in the method that I'll be showing you in just a moment. So that is your lists. Lists can be modified. They're not just great for targeted sharing and custom privacy. As you saw, they're also helpful for controlling or curating what appears within your news feed. So now that you know how lists are set up and how you can add your friends to a list, we're going to go ahead and go into our news feed to show you how to do the targeted sharing. All right, so if you think about an email message, it has a to box at the top. And before you start typing, you usually type in who the email is for. With targeted sharing on Facebook, you're actually going to use the bottom of the message to delineate which group of people will be able to view this particular update. So if you only want to notify your Christmas card list, a close list of friends and family, that's one I created, I feel more comfortable giving them more details than other folks, so I might type that update designated just to them. I can also use the custom option to exclude people from this list. So very likely if I wanted my coworkers to not see something, I would hide this particular update from my coworkers. I could even hide it from both anybody, like if I could hide it from anybody who is working with me at New Mexico State. So this is an option that can be used to make it a whitelist, basically, only people who are approved, or a blacklist where certain people are excluded from the list. Now this is on an update by update basis. If you select public, you're by default publishing to your Facebook timeline and anyone will be able to see it. So when you are utilizing your list feature, you'll find it's a handy way to modify groups of people that can see particular updates. You'll also notice as you scroll through your news feed that you have an idea of what kind of sharing others are doing. If there is a public indicator by a post and you comment, your information is also public. If an individual has shared with a limited group, maybe a group of friends or family, move my screencast back up here, you may be able to see that as well. So if there has been a custom sharing setting or a limited sharing setting, you'll be able to see that, and that should guide you in how you comment or share in relationship to that post. You cannot control someone else's privacy. You can only control the settings on your updates, your photos, and your albums. So we've talked about where to locate lists using the friends area, how to add people to the list, and how to share updates with targeted sharing. Now I'd like to take you into privacy settings where your friend list can be used to further create custom levels of privacy for your Facebook. So you'll notice when you come into the area, there is some information about learning about sharing, and this is a link I've shared with you throughout the course of our workshop. Reading about this is very helpful. I believe that being empowered, especially as you work with students, showing other people who use Facebook, teaching this method of managing information to others on Facebook is very appropriate. So this will hopefully mitigate some of your concerns about mixing audiences or mixing social circles in your Facebook. So your custom privacy settings basically allow you to set the default for all of your posts and who is able to see, or not see information that's shared on your profile. You can always set the audience selector on an individual case-by-case basis. While we're here and looking at privacy, anytime you see a custom option, the custom option is going to allow you to change that, that setting. Of course, managing past post visibility is a little trickier once information has been shared publicly. It's a little harder to go back, especially with photos, and add them in. So really think about your default settings. If you're using a third-party tool that uploads to Facebook with images, it will most often upload to a certain folder. So my mobile photos, for example, within my Facebook albums has a certain privacy setting. And just like the rest of my Facebook information, the audience selector is available for each photo. And I would need to go ahead and change that if that was something that I wanted to do. But it is best to take some time to set this up. It is not the easiest thing in the world in terms of a time commitment. But once you've got this system set up, then when someone adds you as a friend, it becomes very easy to simply put them into the appropriate list at that time. And of course, as you may or may not realize, if you want to further utilize this, I'm going to go back to my news feed. This is a setting that I believe I also shared in one of the tours or linked to in one of the resource guides, but there's an edit option at the very bottom of your news feed where you can by default determine who and when you'd like to see specific bits of information in your feed. And so those would be your subscriptions and how you'd like to receive information in your feed. All right, everybody, that's it for our Facebook targeted sharing and custom privacy levels video. Let me know if I can be of any help to you. Have fun. Bye-bye.